you're interested in a new business card and wondering if the Blue Business Cash card is right for you. The short answer is yes. If you have a small business or even a sole proprietor, you are eligible to get this card. I have a link below in the description if you're interested in signing up. It does help the channel out, so I would greatly appreciate that. And just a quick fact, depending on how you're signing up, but if you're signing up as a sole proprietor, you will have to use your social security number, which is your SSN number, depending on how it shows up on the application. And if you're signing up as a LLC or corporation, you will then need to use your EIN number. And for anybody who has a business, you should know what your EIN number is. So I just wanted to throw that quick fact out there, depending on how you are registering your card, depending on what class of business you're going under. At the time of filming this video, I did recently get approved for the Blue Business Cash card, and I'm quite excited, but let me explain why. First and foremost, business credit cards are a great way to leverage cash flow for your business, especially cards like the Blue Business Cash that offers a 0% intro APR for the first 12 months of opening this card. So if you could take advantage of that, is an easy way to have money flowing in your business. And this is not me saying let your expenses on your card, get out of hand. Don't do that, because that's the easy way to get trapped. And they kind of want you to do that because that's how they make their money. But if you can manage to pay your balance off in full after the 12 months, you will not have to pay a dime in interest. And that's the idea, especially when you're running a business, because sometimes when you start the business, you need money, capital, as they like to call it. And you need that capital in order to have the business to function. So in the first 12 months of the business, it typically is the time of growth and not really the time of making a bunch of profits. So if you can manage to do both within that time, it's just a win-win situation. All right, and going right into the next point, having a business card like the Blue Business Cash makes it extremely easy to separate your business expenses from your personal expenses. And this is not to say that you can't use your business card for personal expenses, but it just makes it a little bit harder to separate that when it comes tax time. So when you have a business card, it just makes that world of a lot easier. So if I were you, I wouldn't make personal expenses with your business card. Not that you can't, even though in the fine print, it literally says you can't, but I have made personal expenses with business cards. I do have other business cards like the PayPal Business MasterCard or the Amazon Business Prime card. And I've made a few personal expenses with those cards. Of course, I separate those during tax time, but that's something that a lot of people get confused. They believe they can't use their business card for personal expenses whatsoever. Do your own due diligence, make very intelligent moves when it comes to the things you purchase on your business card, and try to write off at the end of the year. The Blue Business Cash card is clearly a cash back card, but it does have an brother, that is the Blue Business Plus card, where you do get points for every dollar you spend. So the main features of the Blue Business Cash card is you get 2% cash back on all eligible purchases up to $50,000 annually. After you hit that cap, you go down to 1% cash back on all purchases, which I actually think that's a great deal, because business purchases are a lot different than personal, and you can buy some pretty expensive things. For example, like this camera I bought, or this mic, or the iPad. These are things I use for the business, and they are pretty expensive. So I think even with you getting 1% cash back on all purchases after $50,000 annually, that's still great. And of course, this card has no annual fees, which thumbs up to that, but it does have foreign transaction fees, which I don't travel that much, but for those travelers, you might want to bring a different card with you that doesn't have a foreign transaction fee. I got a few options like the SoFi card, or maybe the Apple card, or if you're trying to take the business route, you can do the PayPal Business MasterCard, or even the Amazon Business Prime card. Those are a few options that doesn't have foreign transaction fees. But as far as this card go, it does have foreign transaction fees. This card also offers this thing called expense management. Basically what it does is set a limit on all your employees' cards. So if you have a lot of employees and you want to keep control of the expenses that's going through the business, at least through this card, there's a way to do so. So I think that's pretty neat, especially if you're a business with a decent amount of employees. Majority of business cards are really hard to get approved for, but for the Blue Business Cash and even the Blue Business Plus, which is the brother of the Blue Business Cash card, it's not as hard to get approved for this card as many other business cards. I actually see this card being people's first business card a lot on the internet. So if you're trying to get approved for a business card, I would say the Blue Business Cash card and the Blue Business Plus card are two good cards to start off with, because you probably need roughly around a 670 credit score for the best odds of approval. And that's like the bare minimum. I wouldn't go any lower than that, but I believe you can get approved for the Blue Business Cash card with a lower credit score. It does not have to be good to excellent. It could be the highest of fair that it goes. So keep that in mind whenever you're trying to get this card. Of course, do your due diligence before trying to apply for this card. So I also feel like I have to talk about this because I don't see this on a lot of videos, but the Blue Business Cash, or any American Express card for that matter, it isn't accepted at a lot of places. And I actually experienced this personally. On some of my other videos, I talk about a business that I have, and that business is a clothing brand / streetwear brand. So I do need to make bulk orders for clothing from certain dealers or merchants, and those dealers and merchants does not accept American Express. So I couldn't use an American Express card if I was to buy that product in bulk. I would have to use a MasterCard, a Visa card, or cash. So if you're thinking about getting the American Express card to buy certain things for certain businesses, I do want to let you know a lot of places will not accept it due to its transaction fee is the highest in the industry, and a lot of places aren't willing to eat that cost, or they will charge you a transaction fee to make up the difference. So if you believe you're getting the cash back, you will just lose it in that transaction fee. So keep that in mind if you're going for the Blue Business Cash card. For those reasons, if you have a clothing brand or a brand that requires a lot of inventory, you might want to see if your merchants accept American Express before applying for this card, but take that with a grain of salt and please do your due diligence behind it. If you talk to your merchants, your dealers, and they all say they accept American Express, then this just might be the perfect card for you. And the Blue Business Cash card also offered things like account manager, car rental loss and damage insurance, global assist hotline, shopping benefits like extended warranty and purchase protection. But overall, the Blue Business Cash card, I would say, is a good card, and I'm excited to add it to my wallet. And if you're interested, like I said, if you could use the link below, it does help the channel out tremendously. Anyone who has a business, do your due diligence before buying any kind of tools to help your business grow, because one thing I do understand is running a business can be extremely difficult, and when you're trying to figure out all the things you need to run it properly, it could be a bit overwhelming. So hopefully this video helped you in your decision making. But with that being said, I'll see you on the next one.